What's up, everyone? Matt here with Down Once More, and welcome to another mini episode of Down Once More. And this is where I give you a little bit of a grab bag of everything. Well, actually, the mini episodes have zero regular structure, and they're not really mini because they usually run about as long as the regular episodes. So, just another episode of Down Once More, except this one's solo, just me. It's going to be real grab bag, little bit of everything. I am going to do some kind of PSAs is the wrong word, some announcements, some FYIs for you. I'm going to do some mini streaming recommendations. I'm going to talk about joining a cult and how that's been, and just some other random things, whatever comes to mind, as these usually go. Very minimal structure, lots of randomness. So, first off, I want to just thank everyone who listens, watches on YouTube, interacts with us on social media. You guys rock. We couldn't do this without you. Actually, that's a lie. I'm not going to lie to you. We could do it without you. It's just not as fun. And it's just yelling into the void, which I feel like I do a little bit of anyways. But I appreciate everyone's support, everyone who tunes in. You're awesome. Tell us more of what you want to see. On that note, a week or so ago, did an Instagram and I think it put on Twitter too and Facebook post that asked for you guys' help. We want your ideas. We want you to be involved. We want you to tell us things you'd like to see, whether that's ideas for different segments, movies you'd like to see us review. Help us rename Pick 3. The name for that sucks. I want something musical related, but my brain is not functioning on that, and Rayleigh's is escaping her as well. Not her brain's escaping her. Her naming creative juices for Pick 3 are escaping. So help us out with that. Go comment on that Instagram post. Let us know. And I want to give a shout out to Jake over there. He commented, gave us really good ideas on some different segments, different things we can do. This is going to be kind of a packed episode, so not going to tackle any of them this week. But a couple of the ideas he mentioned were musicals that probably shouldn't have been musicals, and then movies that should be musicals. So I really like that. We definitely will be doing at least the movies that should be musicals talk on here. And so thank you, Jake. Shout out you for being awesome and tuning in. So people, be more like Jake. Let us know what you want to see. We want you to be involved, and we want to constantly improve. We want to add some more variety, or maybe that's not what you want to see. Maybe you want us to just stick to musical reviews and shut up. I'll tell you, there's probably a good chance I'm not going to listen to you on that. But so sorry, but you can skip these. Every episode has time codes in the bottom, some descriptions. So pay attention to that if you don't want to listen to anything about the musical reviews. So this year we've been splitting those out. The musical reviews have essentially been their own episodes, with the exception of the Vivo review last week, where we threw in the Pick 3 and vocal warm-ups like old times on there. So hopefully you've been enjoying the new format we've been doing this year and the extra content we've been throwing at you. 4 episodes, well, an episode a week instead of an episode a month. It's quite the increase for us, and appreciate those of you who are still tuning in, week out, and enjoying the content. Hopefully you're liking it. Next topic. I had talked about on my Last of Us reviews, the last couple ones, which were only on YouTube. So if you watch The Last of Us and you haven't checked those out yet, go do it. I did kind of my initial thoughts as someone who played both games. Spoiler free for the second game. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who's just watching the show or wants to experience it for the first time. So go check out my thoughts on YouTube on those. But I talked about potentially doing that same treatment for season 2 of Yellow Jackets on Showtime, because I absolutely loved the first season. I wasn't expecting it. It was very unique, kind of creepy thriller, almost supernatural type vibes. The actual Supernatural, not the series Supernatural. and it was really good. The first season was fantastic. Season 2 premiered on Friday, the first episode this past Friday. In each new episode, it's a Friday drop. It took the spot of Your Honor on Showtime, which season 2 just ended. And I'd mentioned that briefly. I really liked season 1. Season 2, I wasn't feeling as much. It got better by the end of it. Still not as strong as season 1, in my opinion, but it was good, worth a watch. So Yellow Jackets is taking that slot. I don't think I'm going to be doing the weekly recaps, thoughts on Yellow Jackets, unless people tell me that's what they want to see. Partially, I think there's a lot less people who have Showtime and are watching that regularly. I don't have a whole lot of extra knowledge and things to add to it besides just my initial episode thoughts. There's no video game it's tied to that I've played. I don't have other great insight on that. If I feel strongly about it, maybe I'll hop on either Instagram or TikTok, one of those pages, and drop a real quick reel on my thoughts. But that gets dicey because I don't want to give away any spoilers on things. So all I'm going to say on the season 2 premiere is fantastic, hasn't missed a beat. And I wasn't expecting to hear Last Resort by Papa Roach on it. So that was a pleasant surprise. That song brings me back to high school. Great song. And not the album with Last Resort, but Papa Roach, when we were talking about our pick 3 albums, if you could only listen to 3 for a month. Papa Roach, They're Getting Away with Murder album made my list. So check out Yellow Jackets if you haven't yet. It's a fantastic series. If you have Stars, season 3 of Party Down has been going, and it has been fantastic. I was pleasantly surprised. Party Down is a show. It's got Adam Scott, Jane Lynch, Ryan Hansen. I'm blanking on other people's names, but it's other people that you will have recognized and are fantastic. They run a catering company. They work for a catering company, Party Down. First 2 seasons ran, was probably like 5-10 years ago, and then it was canceled. And they were great, a great cast, very funny dialogue, situations. I was worried about season 3, them kind of reviving the series and coming back, but it's been great so far. They added Jennifer Garner and some other people in the supporting cast that have been fantastic, so highly recommend that as well. And if you have Stars, if you haven't already, you need to watch Black Sails. It's 4 seasons. It's over. It tells a fantastic story following Captain Flint, John Silver, some other people from that you may recognize the names from Treasure Island, and pulls in some real pirates history. Blackbeard shows up. It's a fantastic series, and it's on Stars. Highly recommend it. One of my favorite series of all time. One thing that I've talked about a few times on here is Team Star Kid's new musical, Nerdy Prudes Must Die. So I finally got the chance to watch that production they had digital tickets going, which expired the 28th. So if you haven't watched it yet, March 28th, you missed your opportunity and you have to wait till it comes out on YouTube, which they said will be either late 2023 or early 2024. So you could have a bit of a wait for that. But trust me, it's going to be worth the wait. They do a good job with their production and filming it and staging it for YouTube, where you can still kind of feel in the action, where it doesn't seem like a high school performance with the camera just propped up in the back. But with a digital ticket, the music's clever, the lyrics are clever, the music is catchy, the cast is fantastic, just like all of Team Star Kids productions that I've seen anyways. It's part of the Hatchetfield series that all takes place in the same town. Other ones in that series are The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals and Black Friday. There's some other ones in there as well that I have not seen, but highly recommend checking out Team Star Kid. There's not, like I said, there's not an official date. I'll talk about it on here when there is one. And who knows, maybe Rayleigh and I will watch and talk about that then as well, like we did with Twisted, because we had a lot of fun with that one and it's great. So check out Team Star Kid. They're at The Real Team Star Kid on Instagram. I think their YouTube channel is just Team Star Kid, but check them out. They're great, and stay tuned for when Nerdy Prudes Must Die releases on there. There is a new musical series that just released on the 24th on Hulu called Up Here. I know next to nothing about it. I watched the trailer for it. It looked like it could be really good. So I'm cautiously optimistic about that, and would definitely let you all know my thoughts once I get a chance to check that out. Um, all right. And one big story time mini review, and then I'll get into the whole cult situation. Um, I got the chance to go see the Book of Mormon on tour yesterday. My brother from Chicago came down. We went to it together, and it was fantastic. That is the most fun that I have had, I think, at any live theater performance, whether it was musical or not, even a movie thing. Everyone was laughing together. It was so funny, so clever. The performances were so good. We actually saw the understudies for Elder Price and Elder Cunningham, which I wouldn't have known, except they were listed as the understudies in the playbill. The people who were performing it. So these guys didn't miss a beat. They were so good professionals. Everyone in the ensemble, everyone was so good in this cast. If you get the chance to see it, I'm sure I don't know if they have different tours going on right now. I know Hamilton usually has two different ones going on at once, and I'm not sure if Book of Mormon does or not, but highly recommend checking it out. I think a lot of people get hung up on some of the things about it being offensive or potentially a little blasphemous, and I think people should withhold judgment. If you're a Mormon, you're probably not going to like it, right? Because it is satire. It is poking fun a little bit at the specific Mormon beliefs, right? But ultimately, the message and the conclusion that the characters in the show come to is a great message, and a lot of the core themes of not just Mormons, but Christianity, other religions as well, that ties into there. The message at the end, the themes, the values that are portrayed, as odd as it sounds, are fantastic. This musical from the creators of South Park is so good and has a good message throughout it. So if you get the chance, go see it. Tied to that, afterwards, my brother and I went to this restaurant, Lead Bellies in Lincoln. Fantastic burgers and poutine. If you're in the Lincoln, Nebraska area ever, well, check it out. Highly recommend. But they didn't have a drink menu, and I asked the waitress if they had an old fashioned. She said, "Yeah, we do." She said, "We actually also have this banana old fashioned. I know it sounds weird, but it's actually really good. If you're interested in trying that?" And I said, "Usually I don't do flavored with, like, I like my old fashions like an old fashioned. Like maybe I'll have a smoked one," which that reel that I did on my personal page, like 28,000 views. Meanwhile, our highest viewed one for the podcast has like 3,500, which is great, but want to up those numbers. I just need to start making cocktails on here. We might rebrand the show. So anyways, but yeah, do a smoked old fashioned or do like a black walnut old fashioned, things like that. Mild, usually not fruity, besides citrus, which is standard in there, right? So I said I'd get it. I wanted to try it. Figured, well, the hell not. A few minutes later, bartender or another waiter comes out with the drinks, and he asked which one of us had the banana hammock, which was not something I was prepared for the name being. And I said it was me, and then my brother and I just both started laughing at the absurdity of it. It's probably a good thing I didn't have the menu and have the name, because I definitely wouldn't have tried it then, because I don't think I could have looked at that waitress with the straight face and said, yeah, I'll take the banana hammock, please. So, yeah, just be warned. It's a decently good drink. If you like banana and citrus, I feel like they must have used orange bitters with it too, because it was very citrus forward as well with the banana. So it wasn't as much whiskey forward. So just heads up, I was rocking the banana hammock yesterday. So now it is cult time. So some backstory on this. I joined this cult unintentionally at first, in 2020. It's been a couple years. Well, I guess 2023 now, which is insane. Time flies when you're having fun. Um, but it all started back in October of 2019, really. So I went to a Bowling for Soup concert. If you're not too familiar with Bowling for Soup, their main hits they've probably heard are Almost, 1985, they have the Bitch song, they have High School Never Ends. Those are probably some of their most recognized songs. They did not sing Stacy's Mom. That was Fountains of Wayne. Some people think it was Bowling for Soup, but it's not. Although they did cover it. And they played at their concert, and with Jarrett Reddick, the main singer of the band, he said everyone thought we played it anyway, so we thought we might as well make some money off it, right? So they did their cover, and it was a lot of fun. And I gotta say, they were gonna be, it was about an hour away from me. Tickets were $20, cheap as hell. And I knew that, like, those four songs that I mentioned, Almost, 1985, High School Never Ends, and the Bitch song, that was about the extent of my experience and knowledge of Bowling for Soup. So I went to the concert, and I had so much fun. The crowd was great. There's some people who are trying to start a mosh pit constantly. That was less great. I don't know why you're moshing to Bowling for Soup. They're not particularly mosh music, in my opinion. But it was a lot of fun. They put on, it's like half concert, half comedy show, and it's just a great time. Highly recommend going to a Bowling for Soup concert, even if you don't know a ton of their songs. The energy, everything's fun, and I'm sure there's more songs that you'll recognize than you think you know. But after that, I started listening to them more heavily. I started following them on social media more. I joined the Bowling for Soup fan page on Facebook, which is an awesome community. Lots of supportive people there, and just sharing stories of the band. Jarrett Reddick, singer, as I mentioned, he is very active in the fan page as well, so that's really cool to see. And so I was kind of following the band, seeing what was going on. And then in March 2020, COVID hit. Right after COVID hit and everything like shut down, Jarrett started doing on Stage It. He started doing acoustic concerts on there. Now, Stage It, it's basically poses the what if musicians were cam girls. It gives musicians a chance to put on shows for their fans. It's usually capped at how many people can go in, can participate, so it keeps it more of like an intimate setting, like an in-home acoustic performance. And so you can tip them, you buy tickets, you tip the artist as they're performing, make requests, things like that. So it's really just another way for musicians to whore themselves out, but in the best possible ways and less exploitative, whatever the right word is. But Jarrett started doing those on March 19th. He typically would do two shows, one in the afternoon, one at night, partially because that's something I wasn't aware of. Bowling for Soup has an insane overseas following in the UK. They sell out arenas over there. It's awesome to see. But they're really big in the UK. They go there, tour fairly regularly. They interact with fans there. It's awesome. So I am at a new job now, but the job I was at the time, I still had to be there at work every day. I was one of like two people in the office. And it was basically just to be a body to be there because almost everything was shut down for a few weeks. And it was very slow for a few months. And so I would usually schedule my lunches around when these Stage It shows would go on. I didn't start right at the beginning of it. I didn't see it for a few weeks after it was in. So I'm not quite sure the origin of some of the things, but these shows were Jarrett, his acoustic guitar, his microphone, and a kazoo. I don't know how the kazoo originally came to be on there, but it's fantastic. He would interact with people on there. There would be different rewards for people. You're tuning in or going to continuous ones. I was on a few Zoom calls with him and a few other people, and he was one of the nicest guys you'd ever meet virtually and I've heard in person, he's the same, but really made people feel at home. Seems like a normal guy, and it was so much fun. It was great. I had a great time. Started listening to Bowling for Soup even more heavily then, and just really supporting them, supporting everything he was doing. It almost gave people a little bit of sense of, with all that, the trying time, everything going on in 2020, a little bit of normalcy and an escape from everything going on. And it was awesome. Over time, he did this pretty much throughout all of 2020, going in a little bit to 2021. Uh, and from that formed the Kazoo Crew, is what they were known in the chat. And I don't know if Jarrett started that or one of the fans. It might have been fucking Joe, one of the guys on there. But it was great. It was a lot of fun. And that's where the cult came. The Kazoo Crew. It was an unintentional cult. They're still going strong. Jarrett made official merch for it. He's started doing a couple more stages recently. Bowling for Soup's coming up on their 30th anniversary, which is insane that they're still putting out new music after all this time. They're still together with most of the original band members. Now the band consists of Jarrett Reddick, Chris Burney, Gary Wiseman, and Rob Felicity. Rob is younger. He is the newest member of the band. He replaced Eric when he departed from the band. Replaced is probably the wrong word. He's filling in, or he took the place. He's going strong as the stand-in. Bass, guitar. I'm losing Bowling for Soup fan points right now, but Rob's been a great addition to the band. He'll do some of these stages with Jarrett every once in a while. He did this last one, raising money to get a new van and to help name it. And so it was just a lot of fun. It was a really awesome community, and to see people supporting each other, people becoming almost like a family online there. It was a really awesome situation. So that was how I joined a cult, how I am still in a cult. And Jarrett doesn't even make us do weird sex stuff. So that's always a plus when you don't have to do weird sex stuff in the cult, right? And I haven't been told I'm going to eternal damnation or anything once. So that's always an awesome plus in addition to it. With that in mind, and in honor of it almost being Bowling for Soup's 30th anniversary, I don't know what the actual date is, but I figured I'm going to do my top 5 Bowling for Soup songs. And I didn't intentionally do this, but none of their more popular ones made my list. I actually like some of their newer stuff a lot and some different versions of some of their older songs. So these aren't going to be in any particular order. These are just the 5 songs that I enjoy the most, and I think everyone should check out, even if you're not a big Bowling for Soup fan. Jarrett has a very unique voice that is so recognizable, and it's great. Maybe it's not for everyone. Maybe you're not the biggest fan of it, but it's awesome. Everyone check it out. Lyrics are fantastic. And they're bad. They don't take themselves too seriously, too, but they can also do very serious and songs that are very poignant with a really good message too, like Turbulence, which didn't make my list, but that's an honorable mention they'll throw out there. Turbulence, if you're struggling, feeling alone, feeling down, feeling depressed, and not knowing where your place is, Turbulence is just an awesome song to listen to and an awesome message. So everyone should check out that song. Everyone go do it right now. I'll wait. I'm not really going to wait, because I'm not going to give you 4 minutes of dead air on here, and I'm not going to put the song in here because I don't want copyright dings, but go listen to it. So, top 5 Bowling for Soup songs. And it's really nice to do top 5s because then it gives me, if I have time to create graphics, really easy graphics to create. All right. First up is the one that I probably listen to most regularly. It was my alarm for a longest time. My first one I'd kick on in my shower speaker to get me ready to face the day is I Am Waking Up Today. It's from one of their newer albums called Lunch Drunk Love. It is such an upbeat song. It is so catchy, such a good vibe to start the day. You can't go wrong starting your day with I Am Waking Up Today. I will not be inserting snippets of songs. I will not be singing snippets of songs because I don't want to get a cease and desist from Jarrett. So, next up is going to be Epiphany. It's the lead-off song from the Great Burrito Extortion Case. Such fun album names too. I mean, I don't know what the Great Burrito Extortion Case is, but it makes me want makes me want a burrito, and then makes me want to know. I gots to know. Oh, also, don't ask if they're bowling to earn soup or bowling on behalf of soup. If you ask that, you have to take a shot. It's the rules. So, if you know, you know. So Epiphany is next up. I'm going to go to Goodbye Friend, and the version from Acoustic in a Freaking English Church. And that was from a performance, a live album where Jarrett and Eric did acoustic versions of songs. And the story behind the song is heartbreaking and very touching. And in my opinion, the acoustic version is the superior version of it. You can hear those raw emotions coming through. Jarrett played this at a few of the different stage it shows he did. And I didn't cover this on those stage it shows. He did like fucking he usually did 2 days a week. And like, if I remember right, it was Tuesdays and Thursdays, and he would do 2 performances a day. So he was doing an insane number of them, and he was doing them almost every week too. So it was awesome. I know everyone appreciated it. It was a nice escape. But every time he performed this acoustic, it almost just brings out the emotion. Almost a tear to your eye, especially hearing him tell the story and everything that was going into writing this, performing it, how the struggle of it is so good. So highly recommend you check that out. And like I said, I recommend checking out the version from Acoustic in a Freaking English Church, and just checking out that live album in general. It is so damn good. So check that out. And that's number 3. We got 2 final ones here. Next I'm going to do Here's Your Freaking Song from Fishin' for Woos. Again, fun album name. So good. Catchy, fun vibes, good breakup vibes, breakup song vibes, and you can't help but sing along. It's so good. I could be giving more like in-depth things behind here, but I'm not. I'm just leaving it at that. And then finally, my 5th one is going to be Last Call Casualty from A Hangover You Don't Deserve, which is the oldest song from my list. Hangover You Don't Deserve is the one that had it was probably their most famous album, I would say. It had My Brain Is Mush Again, so forgive me. That's the one with 1985, Almost, and Trucker Hat. Like, they just have so many good. Ohio, Come Back to Texas. That's probably another one of their more popular ones. But A-Hole, My Hometown, there's so many good songs. That's such a strong album of theirs. But that's the one that's going to take the cake from that album, Last Call Casualty. It's so good. And it kind of got a little bit of all that vibes from here. Got the really upbeat ones. Got the one that doesn't take itself too seriously, and Here's Your Freaking Song. It got the really emotional one in Goodbye Friend. And the I'm Waking Up Today, like I said, it's good vibes. It's just like a good message and a mindset to have too. And like I said, the honorable mention is Turbulence. Their newest album that came out in 2022 is Pop Drunk Snot Bread. Which the album artwork is just slightly disturbing, but also clever. And it's for like Pop Punk's Not Dead. So they got a song in there, Hello Anxiety, which is great. And it's a really good album too. It's not one of my top 3 of theirs, but it is a great album. they're coming out with another greatest hits album, the songs people actually liked. I think that's volume 2 of that is releasing this year. Jarrett also started recently, Jarrett Ray Reddick, which is country band as a Texas boy. Country is a genre that's very important to him as well. And so that album is fantastic, a different vibe from Bowling for Soup, a different feel. I know Rob's done a lot of stuff with him on that. And that's a lot of fun. So recommend checking that. And they recently just did a cover of Flowers by Miley Cyrus, which is so good. They've done some really neat and unique covers recently too. So check out Bowling for Soup. If you haven't listened to them since you were in high school, from 1985 almost, those days, check them out. Like I said, Lunch Drunk Love. I love that album. It came out in 2013, so it's still 9 years ago. But like I said, they're coming out 30 years as a band, which is just insane. Probably would make them feel old, but they've been a band almost as long as I've been alive. I turned 31 this year. It's frightening for them. For me, it's just like, it makes me feel even younger. But that's been my Kazoo Crew Bowling for Soup tribute segment. And I apologize. I know I'm constantly touching my nose. It itches like a motherfucker. My allergies are starting to act up already, which is not fun. Not fun at all. But that's going to about do it for this mini episode. We actually did keep it a mini episode. I was going to say, this is my second time attempting to record this because half of the audio didn't capture my first attempt. And so I don't remember. Everything's running together. I don't know if I said it on this one or on that, but I always say it's a mini episode, and then it's just as long as the regular episodes. But essentially, the mini episodes mean once it's not both Rayleigh and I. You get one of us, maybe you'll get both of us sometimes, eventually, once life steadies out and normalizes. But we all know how life is, and so that's never going to happen. But it's nice to think about. Nice to dream. But your assignment, check out Turbulence by Bowling for Soup. Check out all the songs I mentioned by Bowling for Soup. Head over to our Instagram. Comment ideas you have for the show. Go follow us. Follow us if you're not already. If you're not, what are you doing? Go subscribe to us on YouTube. I want to get my subscriber goal. We've been growing slowly, very slowly. I want to hit at least 100 subscribers. It'd make me happy. I said I want to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year, but I want to hit 100 subscribers by my birthday in June. Let's do that. That sounds fun. Let's do that. That's my goal. My assignment to you. Share it with someone else. Get them to follow. Subscribe on YouTube. All you need is a Gmail account. You just hit subscribe. You can turn off notifications. I don't care. You having notifications turn off does nothing for us, but it helps you. Helps you. Help me. Help you. Show me the money. Actually, I don't want the money. I just want you to love us. That's all I want. I just want to be loved, as Papa Roach says. And that's how we're coming full circle on this episode. So, everyone, stay sweet. I might be mixing things up. We might have an announcement because I don't want to wait till the next episode coming up beginning of April. So stay tuned to our socials for that. And as always, don't forget to go down once more. Oh, one other thing, because there were 5 months in March, you're getting 2 back-to-back mini episodes, solo episodes. So either me or Rayleigh. So next week isn't one with Rayleigh and I. It'll be either just me or just her. So stay tuned for that. Just a heads up, because we're going back on our schedule where 2nd and 4th weeks of the month, those are joint ones. Then anything after that, solo or extra. So enjoy. Don't forget to go down once more. Later.